Hi students, welcome to chemistry online classes. In the previous class I discussed about the antibiotics. Antibiotics are wholly or partially synthesized and which are low concentration, which will be prevent or destroy the microorganism, that is called antibiotic. That is a definition. And in that, first we discuss about the antibacterial drug, and next one is penicillin is one of the good antibiotic. These antibiotics are two types, one is bactericidal, another is bacteriostatic. So that example also I given. And next one is these antibiotics are classified based on the to prevent, it means to kill or to destroy the microorganism. One is broad spectrum, another one is narrow spectrum, next one is limited spectrum. Broad spectrum mean this will be destroy or kill the microorganism, that is gram positive or gram negative bacteria. Gram positive or gram negative bacteria. Here, sorry, not or, here and, it means both. Here gram positive or negative. Keep in mind any one. It may be destroy or kill the gram positive or gram negative bacteria. This will be single microorganism to destroy or to prevent the single microorganism or disease. For this examples are example important in this chapter. Keep in mind definition example, but nowadays for JEE mains level, advanced level, the molecule structures are given. In that structure how many carbons are there, how many sp2 hybridized carbon, how many sp hybridized carbon, how many sp3 hybridized carbon, how many nitrogen, how many amide bond, how many chlorine atom, how many sulfur atom, like this question they are asking. Therefore structures also very important, you have to check from your textbook. That is the most important. So now broad spectrum examples are ampicillin, amoxicillin, penicillin. Here penicillin G is a narrow spectrum. We have so many penicillin modification, penicillin G, penicillin H, penicillin I, like this modification is there. If you see in your textbook, one structure is there, left side one R group is there. R group change, that penicillin name also change. So you have to practice the penicillin structure. Next, what do you call chloramphenicol, chloramphenicol. Next, vancomycin, ofloxacin. These are the example for broad spectrum. This is example for narrow spectrum, and this is dicydazarine is an example for limited spectrum. So I think last class also this is completed, but once again I am revising. And one more thing is this penicillin is one of the important antibiotic, and this is sensitive for the some peoples, because if it is administered into the body, it may be gives the irritation or rashes or some side effects will be there. Therefore first we have to inject into the body little bit, and we have to check if any side effect is there, then don't give. If not affected, mean you can administer into the body, there is no problem. That's why if you are having any severe fever or any other wound is not healing properly, then that time penicillin is antibiotic they are maybe giving. That time first you have to check it is sensitive or not, it means it is giving any side effect or not, then you check and then only you have to take the penicillin injection, otherwise no. And this penicillin is in our India, it is manufacturing in Pune, that is village name is called Pimpri. You check in your textbook that line, very important. In India, in Pune, Pimpri village, this is Hindustan private sector industry, not government, this is private sector industry, that private sector industry name Hindustan. Okay, so this is very, very, very important. This is called antibiotic respector. Next, antiseptics. These antiseptics are chemical substance which is used for external use, not administered orally or giving through injection. That is very important. Keep in mind, this is giving, apply on external surface or external tissues, not internal. So you may be observed that this antiseptic, if wound or cut happened or due to accident totally the skin is removed, then that time we are applying some antiseptics to heal the wound. So now antiseptic, some examples are furacin, soframycin. Examples are very important. What are they may give which of the following is antibiotic or which of the following is antiseptic. So these examples are very important. Another one very, very, very useful, everyone know, Dettol is the one of the example for antibiotic. This is a mixture of, Dettol is a mixture of chloroxylenol and terpineol. So this mixture is called Dettol. One time asked this question, Dettol is a mixture of chloroxylenol and terpineol. This example is very, very, very important. Next, now when you are bathing or washing your face, you are using the soap. In the soap also we have the antibiotic. So soap contain antibiotic also. One time question asked, in soap antibiotic present is bithionol. OL also, EAL also you can write, no problem. Actually it contains alcohol group, but in bracket given in textbook you can write bithionol, or also we can give bithionol. NOL or NAL also write, no problem. Okay, in soap contain compound is bithionol. Thio word used when sulfur is present. So in this compound sulfur is present. Once you check the structures are very important for JEE mains purpose only. CET level, NEET level examples are important. Name. Okay, next one, tincture of iodine. This is very important question. Tincture of iodine. This is important for board level also and also competitive exam level. So tincture of iodine. What is the tincture of iodine mean? 2 to 3% of iodine in alcohol water mixture. This is called tincture of iodine. Another one is iodoform also. This is iodoform formula, CHI3. CHCl3 is called chloroform, CHI3 is called iodoform. This is also used as a antiseptic. What are the antiseptic? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another one is low concentration of boric acid. Boric acid formula, you know that H3BO3. It is used for eye drops or ear drops. If you observe on that may be present boric acid. This also you studied in the 13 group element in the P block element first year. So there also given boric acid uses. It is one of the antiseptic. Okay. Next, 0.2% of phenol solution. This is also act as an antiseptic. So this is also many examples are there. You have to remember main example these are, and this Dettol. Okay. Now antiseptic. After that, disinfectants. Disinfectants and antiseptics are look like definition nearly same, but small difference is there. Antiseptics used for living beings, it means animals and human being. Disinfectants used for non-living system. Now Dettol is used for antiseptic. Dettol also we can use for floor cleaning purpose, and Domex, Harpic, Lysol, like this all are which one to clean the non-living system, glass, floor, like this. Another one is Collins, also we can use for the cleaning purpose. So all these are germs killing liquids, but that is for non-living system. So that don't write in your board level exam or competitive level, that is not given in your textbook, which is given this 0.2% of phenol act as an antiseptic, but 1% of phenol, 1% phenol is example of disinfectants. So phenol, like this word you may be heard, phenol is one of the floor cleaning liquid. Here phenol is there. So how they are pronouncing I don't know. 1% phenol is act as which one? Disinfectant. And also 0.2 to 0.4% of chlorine also act as a disinfectant. You maybe know that swimming pool is generally purified that water with the chlorine water. That's why if you swim in the swimming pool, your skin will be darkened. If like white color is there, means that will be converted to dark if you regularly swim in the swimming pool because of this chlorine. Another one is sulfur dioxide, also in low concentration of sulfur dioxide also act as which one? Disinfectant. So you have to remember each and every example, because which of the following is correct like this given mean, or which of the following is incorrect like this question given mean. Each and every examples are important. Next one is see here 0.2%. So some compounds are act as a disinfectant and some are act as a antiseptic. So it depends upon their concentration. Phenol is there, here also phenol is there, here 1%, here 0.2%. Okay, next anti-fertility drugs or medicines. Anti-fertility drugs meaning what is there? Now day by day population is increase. If population increase, we will face some social problem. One is food problem, another is job problem, another is environmental issues. Okay, that will pollution increase, and then totally we are affected. Therefore, nowadays we have to use this anti-fertility drug because to reduce this social problem. To reduce this social problem, we have to use the anti-fertility drug, then population will be decreased. So these anti-fertility drugs or medicines having the hormones, that hormones are estrogen and progesterone. These hormones derivative, estrogen and progesterone hormone derivative. So synthetic estrogen progesterone derivatives are more effectively work than the natural. Therefore that drugs are, one is example 1 norethindrone. Norethindrone is one of the anti-fertility drug. This is the progesterone derivative. Progesterone derivative. Another one is ethynyl. I think this ethynyl estradiol. Ethynyl estradiol is also known as a novestrol. Spelling one EO like this small maybe changes. You have to check it from your textbook. So, but names are norethindrone, ethynyl estradiol. These are the which one anti-fertility drug. You maybe know that unwanted 72 or some pills also you know that. So these are given in textbook example only you have to write in your PU board exam level, and competitive exam level also these example you have to remember. Other examples are not required, that may be for your general knowledge purpose required, but here textbook example only you have to remember. This is estradiol, it means estrogen and progesterone derivative mixture. Keep in mind this is a mixture of these two compounds. So with this, if you use these drugs, then that what you call ovulation will be stopped. It will not give the fertility of the egg and will not give the birth for the next generation. So always you have to control the population, because day by day now our country population is more than 130 crores. So reaching day by day this population to higher value. Therefore, if you decrease, if you mean not only one person, all, so then only population will be decreased, and all person will get the proper food, proper water and jobs, everything will be properly maintained. If it is more than that, then automatically you will get the problem. Nowadays only you are getting so many problems. So follow the rules and regulation, that is good. Next, after this, chemicals in food. So what are the chemicals we using in food? One is food preservative, another is antioxidants and colors and some nutrition value content chemicals like minerals, vitamins added into the food. So and some are stabilizing compounds, some are what do you call appeal, that should be look like the good. You may be observe in the advertisement also which are looks good, that only we are purchasing. For example, in TV advertisement they may be gives the gems. The gems are in different colors, then children are more attracted towards that. So like this, some additives they will add, that may be color, that may be food preservative for preserving long time, antioxidant because due to oxygen reaction that may be spoiled, then we have to stop the oxygen reaction. Like this we are adding, and some are sweetening substance also adding. If you take the sugar, then calories will be increased. Therefore we are using artificial sweetener, then this will give sweetness but not give the calories. So among all in our textbook only few are there. One is first one is heading, what is that? Chemicals in food. That is one, artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners meaning, remember, if you take the sugar, automatically calories will be increased. So somewhere I heard that to avoid the many problem after the 35 like this age above, then you have to avoid three whites. Three whites mean one is sugar, that is white color, another is salt, that is also white color, another is rice. So if you avoid this, then your health problems will be reduced. Then I don't want to tell don't eat the rice, it means you can eat, but that should be in less quantity. Sugar also less quantity and salt also in proper quantity if you take, then there is no problem. But if you take more after the some age, then these all types of problems will comes. And also you have to follow the diet and what do you call fitness maintaining exercise also you have to follow, then only your health will be regularly maintained, otherwise so many problems will come. So health conscious is very important. So artificial sweeteners are, these are give sweet but not the calories. So one of that first one is saccharin. Saccharin having 500 times more sweet than the sugar. This is we have to remember this, how many times more sweeter than the sugar? 500 times more sweeter than the sugar. Another one is aspartame. This is 100 times more sweeter than the sugar. Next one is sucralose. Sucralose is 600 times more sweeter than the sugar. Another one is aspartame. This is nearly 2000 times more sweeter than the sugar. All these we have to remember. This is the first artificial sweetener, and this is used in the food for diabetic patient, because diabetic patient they want sweetness, but if you take sugar their calories will be increase and again raise their sugar level. Therefore to avoid that we have to use the artificial sweetener. They are sweet but not gives the any calories to the body. Okay, and keep in mind this is one of the first artificial sweetener used in the food. Next one is aspartame. Aspartame is one of the dipeptide. Keep in mind dipeptide. You may be studied in the biomolecule chapter. Peptide mean what is that? Two amino acid combine to form one amide bond. One amide bond formed by two amino acid, that is called dipeptide. If three amino acid combine to form, that is tripeptide. So two amino acid combine to form one peptide bond, that is called dipeptide. In that which amino acids are there? One is aspartic acid. This question also one time asked aspartic acid. Another is phenylalanine. These two acids ester form this is. Okay. So methyl ester dipeptide. Keep in mind methyl ester dipeptide. This is aspartame, and this is widely used because it is not very much sweeter, like 500, 600, 2000. So one of the moderate level sweetness this is, and this is limited use in the cool drinks or cold food or in soft drinks. So that level only it is used. It is not stable at cooking temperature. If you use in the sweets like whatever you are preparing at home, then compulsory we have to heat. If you heat, then this will be decomposed and not gives the that much sweetness. Therefore it is used for only cool drinks and cold food only. It means limited uses, not for all type of sweets. Okay. Next is sucralose. Sucralose is a trichloro derivative of sucrose. Trichloro derivative of sucrose. Sucrose formula you know that, structure also you know that. One is D-glucose is there, another is fructose is there, both combination this is. So same structure but somewhere 3-chlorine will be there, therefore it is called trichloro derivative, that is called of sucrose, that is called sucralose. 600 times this is. This is also stable at cooking temperature. Keep in mind it is stable at cooking temperature. We can use in the some sweets also which are using in the cooking. Next aspartame. This is very high sweetness. Then we cannot control this sweetness because that much sweetness. This anyway this is stable 600 means this anyway it is highly stable at cooking temperature. They may ask question in exam, which of the following is unstable at cooking temperature? Mean aspartame. Okay, and it is used only for cold food and cold drinks only, not for all. So these are all used for diabetic patients, those who don't want the calories. Okay. Next, food preservatives. food preservatives are. Now, if you preparing pickle at home, then what you are adding? More oil and more salt. Those are having salty taste. There can be preserved long time. You maybe know that dry fishes also, they are very salty, because in that also what is used? Salt to preserve the long time. Otherwise, you maybe know that meat or fish also, sometime to preserve we are using the salt. And oil also, those are the prepared food in oil that somewhat preserved long time. Those added some water, they are in preserved less time, because of it is easily spoiling. Another is salt, sugar, oil, it means vegetable oil. These are also commonly used food preservative. Honey is also one of the good food preservative. Honey is not easily spoiling. It is years, many years can also we can preserve very long time, which is naturally occurred. Those are artificially maybe prepared, then that is not the long time we can preserve. Actually, honey only one of the substance not spoiled for a long time, many years, up to 50 years, 100 years also. That much purity will be there and not easily spoiling that. That's why at least little bit also you can take in your diet. That is very important. And next, sodium benzoate. This is one of the chemical substance. Sodium benzoate. Sodium benzoate is one of the important food preservative which is used widely. It means for all food preservative purpose, chemical substance this is. And another one is salt of sorbic acid and propanoic acid. Salt of sorbic acid, propanoic acid. These are food preservative. Here what are the some common food preservatives? Salt, sugar and oils. Which oil? Vegetable oils. So these are the food preservatives. This is commonly we know that. Next, antioxidants. Antioxidants are very important for food preservation, because oxygen react with the food and then food will be spoiled. So to avoid the spoilage of food, we have to use antioxidant. Because you maybe know that in your villages, and to whatever the crop comes from your field, that is stored in the large containers. In that some leaves, neem leaves you are adding. Neem leaves are one of the antioxidants. Okay, therefore the food will whatever the food grains are there preserved long time. So here that is natural, but here chemicals, what are the antioxidants mean? And one more point you have to remember, this sodium benzoate, if it is intake in our body, then this is converted into hippuric acid. Hippuric acid. And this is excreted through urine. That is also important. Sodium benzoate in our body, how it is converted? Hippuric acid and excreted through urine. Antioxidants are very, very important. Antioxidants are, one is BHA, another is BHT. BHA means butylated hydroxyanisole, BHT means butylated hydroxytoluene. Once again I am repeating, butylated hydroxyanisole, butylated hydroxytoluene. So these are the very good antioxidant. For example, BHA is used for butter, antioxidant for butter. Then if you use BHA for butter, its lifetime will be increased. So 1 month, 2 months, 1 year also, that lifetime will be increased when you add the antioxidant. Sometimes this mixture BHA and BHT, both mixture along with the citric acid and citric acid also used for better effective, more effective purpose. These three combination if you use, then that antioxidant property will be more. Another one is sulfur dioxide, sulfite, this is called sulfite. These are also act as an antioxidant for wine, beer, cut or peeled vegetables or fruits also, vegetables, dry fruits, like this. For these are used. One time this question is asked, sulfite is antioxidant for which of the following? So all these are example. That time they given as an option wine. Wine is one of the alcohol. For that this is used as an antioxidant for preserving long time. Sulfur dioxide also. This is question asked in the Navodaya examination. Okay. So now we know that artificial sweeteners, food preservative, antioxidant. Antioxidant is also one of the food preservative, but here the main thing is we are stopping the reaction of oxygen with the food materials. Here food preservative, it means any other microorganism, they may react with the food material, then food will be spoiled. So this is based on the osmosis. For example, the bacteria or any virus attack to the food, then food will be spoiled. So it is based on the osmosis, you know, hypotonic solution. So if bacteria attack to the pickle concentration is more because it is salty, then whatever the liquid present in the bacteria, that will be comes into the pickle and that bacteria will be die. This is based on the osmosis process actually. So these are the chemicals in food. Other than this, what are there? Colors will be there, stabilizing agents will be there, flour improver will be there. Now you may be seeing that maida is white color, maida flour is a white color because that color is improved by adding the some chemicals, and some are stabilizing, fat stabilizing agents are there, some nutrition valued substance also is there, vitamins, minerals like this, but very rare. Nowadays everything is totally mixed with some other substance, and our health is going to be spoiled. That's why try to take a proper food. That is also very important. Next one is cleansing agent. Cleansing agents are which one? Soaps and detergents. Soaps and detergents are cleansing agents. It may be removed fat or dirty on the skin or the fabric. It means clothes. They are called soaps and detergent. So first we will discuss about the soap. Soap means what is the sodium or potassium salts of long chain fatty acids. Once again, this is important for board level. You have to write in the board level. Those are first year student. If it is video display for first year student, then you have to remember what is a soap. Soap is what is that? Sodium or potassium salts of long chain fatty acid. What are the long chain fatty acid? You may be studied in the biology also. Stearic acid, linoleic acid, palmitic acid. These are the long chain fatty acid. Mean nearly 15, 16, 17, 18 carbon chains are present in their carbon chain length. Long chain mean what is that? Above nearly 10 to 12 above carbons are there. They are called fatty acid, carboxylic acid. If that carboxylic acid react with the base, that is called sodium or potassium hydroxide, then it forms sodium or potassium salts of carboxylic acid. Long chain carboxylic acid is called soap. Otherwise, note down the point. What is the soap definition? Sodium or potassium salts of long chain fatty acids are called soap. How it is prepared? This is a glycerol ester. Glyceryl ester. Glyceryl ester of long chain fatty acid treated with base, that is NaOH or KOH. It gives which one? Sodium or potassium salt of long chain fatty acids. Sodium or potassium salts of long chain fatty acids. This is called soap. Along with this, what is there? Glycerol will be comes out. How it is separate? Whatever this long chain fatty acid is formed in the form of what do you call emulsion type or colloidal form. This is colloidal form. This is in the form of colloidal. To this, if you add NaCl, this will be precipitated. That precipitated is sodium or potassium salts of fatty acid. That is only called soap. And remaining is filter out. In the filter rate down, what you will get in filter paper, you will get this precipitate, and remaining liquid comes down. That is called glycerol. This is separated by using the fractional distillation process. Okay, you know the fractional distillation process in the first year organic chemistry. So keep in mind this equation also given. I don't want to write the equation. Otherwise, if you want, like this equation is there, CH2O long chain fatty acid, like this big carbon chain, CHO ester mean here C double bond also is there, like this big carbon chain CH2O C double bond O, a big carbon chain will be there. When this is treated with the sodium, then what you will get? Big carbon chain C double bond O Na along with which one? Glycerol. This is called soap. This is called soap. This may be stearic acid. If this formula is C17H35COO Na, this is called soap. Sodium stearate. What do you call this? Is sodium stearate. This is one of the example, because stearic acid is one of the long carbon chain acid. Palmitic acid is one of the long carbon chain acid. Oleic acid is one of the long carbon chain acid. So how many carbons are there here? 17 plus 1, 18 carbons are there in this carboxylic acid. So we know what is the soap. All these soaps, how it is prepared, are heating with heating with the base. What are the base? Sodium or potassium hydroxide base. So soaps are prepared by heating oils or fat with the base or alkali. That any one word they may use. Oil or fat heated with the alkaline. This alkaline may be which one? Sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. Then we will get the soap. And different soaps are there. Their names also different, because of some other raw material, some extra they may add, then their flavor, it means smell and color, something will be different. But every soap is made up of with the heating fat or oil with the base. But sodium and potassium hydroxide soaps are soluble in water. But keep in mind other salts, it means here sodium is there, then this is soluble. Potassium is there, soluble. If calcium is there, magnesium is there, they are insoluble. That's why you may be heard that in the hydrogenated compound chapter, soaps are not remove the dirty in the hard water, because the precipitate or scum is formed. SCUM, the scum is formed, and that is greasy time stick to the cloth or hair, that not easily remove the dirty or grease or fats. Therefore keep in mind these are only used, sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. But potassium hydroxide if you use, then potassium salts of carboxylic acid, that soaps are not harm to your skin, and that is smooth, and that is better than the sodium hydroxide. Therefore potassium salts of carboxylic acid soaps are better than the sodium hydroxide salts of carboxylic acid. Okay, so now we know the what is a soap and how it is prepared. So next, types of soaps. Types of soap mean what is that? One of the soap is there here, toilet soap. Toilet soap mean what is that? Don't consider it is in the toilet. We are bathing soap is known as the toilet soap. So if you read the description in your soap packet, in that may be given toilet soap, mean whatever you are using, that soap for bathing or face washing purpose, if you use toilet soap, will what do you call myself sandal soap, if you observe, then on that this is very clearly mentioned, this is toilet soap. And on that also some their percentage is there, 75 above that is a better, and 75 below that is not better. So if you take the myself sandal soap and what do you call Medimix soap, they are having the some percentage will be there. You read that very clearly on the box, then you will know that that percentage are very better. Okay, so above 75%, generally very rare 75 above percent. So I think myself sandal only having somewhat better grade, that one. So these toilet soaps are prepared by using better grade fats or oil, and they are taking care about the removal of alkaline, because you may be seeing the advertisement in the TVs, Dove soap, and they are showing the pH. If you use the more different soaps having the pH not matching your skin, then that is harmful. Like this they are giving advertisement. Actually we don't know everything, they are only are giving all information. So try to use the pH matching to your body, that type of soaps, that is better. So they are taking care of removing the more base is there, because when you are preparing soap, then you are using alkaline, so the pH will be more is there, mean again it is harmful. You may be observed that if you are washing your clothes with the soap, it means detergent, then somewhat your skin will be outer layer skin will be removed, and somewhat it look like the when you are using your hands in the water more time, then it somewhat shrinken. All these effect due to this alkaline nature. That's why the pH should be maintained, and some colors also they are adding, some perfumes also adding, then it will more attractive. So keep in mind, toilet soap mean not for using for toilet purpose, it is bathing soap only, and washing for face purpose only. Another are some soaps are floating in water. They are prepared by beating with a tiny, it means small air bubbles, that is called soaps which are float in water. Some are transparent soap will be there. You may be observed that Medimix transparent soap, or any other what do you call Pierce glycerin soap also will be there. These are very transparent. If you see, then your face also will appear. So these soaps are prepared dissolving in alcohol and evaporated the more solvent, so they are called transparent soap. All soaps are prepared by same fat, same oil, only some other raw material will be changed, and attractive purpose they may add colors and perfumes. These are the deodorants, like this they may add, but every soaps having the fats or oil only, that is keep in mind. So what are the soaps we discussed? One is toilet soap, another one is a floating soap, another is transparent soap, another is medicated soaps. Medicated soap means Dettol soap, and another is which one, Savlon soaps. Like this you may be observed, these are having some medicated values. It means antibiotic, antiseptic, like this they are adding into that soap. So some medical values also. Medimix also, if you use the Medimix soap, then your any skin diseases will be there, that will be easily reduced, because I observed that is. And Dettol soap nowadays everyone using for hand wash purpose and everything. So that is also one of the medicated soap, and some other also. If some soaps only we know, some other we don't know. So you check the some of the medicated soaps also will be there. And next, another one is shaving purpose also. Some creams are there, some soaps are there, because when you maybe observe in the hair cutting shops, they are using that some cream that is not easily dry up. If you use a soap, immediately dry up. If when you are shaving with the soap, then it is easily dry up, then it is somewhat feeling hard. Then for keeping long time as a foam, then they are adding some substance that gives a more leather, it means foam type, that is called rosin, is one of the substance that gives the sodium rosinate. Keep in underline in your textbook, sodium rosinate is a chemical substance which gives a more leather or foam. Leather mean that gives a foam type. then it is not easily dry up. Glycerol is added for to prevent the rapid dry up. Okay, and next some what do you call dry cleaning. It means for washing purpose also some soaps are there, that is called laundry soaps, that is called laundry soaps. So in that also some fillers are added, sodium carbonate, sodium this rosinate, also some substance they are adding. Other than these soaps, we have now surf, that is called powder form, and what do you call chips form, and so many. These are also prepared in the same way. They are also having the same cleansing property as like the soaps. Next, cleansing property, how this work, that maybe you studied in the surface chemistry chapter. There also cleansing action is there. This is based on the formation of micelle formation. Micelle formation, you know that how first when you apply the soap or detergent, then it forms the micelle, and as an emulsion form, when you use a large amount of water, the dirty also goes along with the micelle, because in micelle what is there, the number of this long chain molecules will be there, and this is hydrophobic part, this is hydrophilic part. Fats or grease or dirty is hydrophobic part, that is dissolved in the hydrophobic part, and this attract the water molecule and form a big molecule, that is called micelle. Then the dirty will be removed. Already you know in the surface chemistry, don't worry. If not been, once again you go through the chapter surface chemistry, there you will know that. But these soaps are not work properly in hard water because it form the precipitate, because those are studied well in the hydrogenated compound first year chapter. There also you know that hard water, soft water. In hard water the soaps are detergent will can give the leather more, but soaps are not gives leather more in the hard water. You may be observed in your day-to-day life also, if you bathing in the soft water, it you feel it, you did the some bathing in with the soft water, but if you do with the hard water, then you only feel the somewhat dirtiness is there on your body. So this is due to the scum or precipitate is not easily removed from our skin, or when you wash with the your cloth with the some soaps, then it is not easily removed. Because of this, you know that sodium and potassium salts are soluble, but calcium, magnesium salts are not easily soluble because they are in the form of precipitate. Okay, so we know the how the soap is remove the dirty, that is called cleansing action. But keep in mind, synthetic detergents are more effective than the soaps. So detergents are very effectively work in the soft water also, in hard water also. They will give the what do you call leather or foam very well, because synthetic compounds these are, and detergents are more effective. Detergents are generally sodium or potassium salts of sulfonic acid salt. Soaps are which one? Sodium salts of long chain carboxylic acid, fatty acids. These are carboxylic acid is soap, sulfonic acid salts are detergent. That you have to remember. What is the difference between the soaps and detergent? Detergents are sodium or potassium salts of sulfonic acid, long chain sulfonic acid. There COH not there, SO3 will be there, sulfuric acid formula will be there, like. Okay, so keep in mind very well, detergents different and soaps are different. Okay, so soaps are sodium or potassium salts of carboxylic acid. Detergents are sodium or potassium long chain sulfonic acid. This is very important, and detergents are better, gives a cleansing action than the soaps. Now these are the three types. One is anionic type. First one, anionic type, anionic detergent. This anionic detergent is, consider one example, CH3 CH2 10 S CH2 SO3 Na. This is sodium salt of, which one this is? Sulfonic, long chain sulfonic acid salt. This is called sodium lauryl. Sodium lauryl sulfonate. This is one of the detergent. This is negative part, this is positive part. This negative part attract towards the lyophilic, it means water attracting part. In this hydrophobic part, that dirty or fat may be dissolved and totally it removes the dirtiness or greasy or fats from the clothes or skin. So this is anionic part. One of the example they may give there, which of the following is lauryl sulfate, sodium lauryl sulfate, or which is the anionic detergent. Then you have to know the name also, you have to know their formula also. These are very, very important. Okay, actually how it is prepared, this is CH3, CH2 taken 10, CH2OH. This is lauryl alcohol. First it is treated with the H2SO4, then water molecule removed. Here this is sulfuric acid formula. Then here like this water molecule loss, H2O loss, then CH3, CH2 taken 10 and CH2, this is O and this. O, totally this is represented as SO4H, 1, 2, 3, 4. Water molecule removed. Write like this. Okay, then treated with the sodium hydroxide, then we will get this is. So keep in mind, very, very important. This is sodium lauryl sulfate is anionic salt detergent. Another one is CH3CH2 11. This is dodecyl, it means 12 carbons are there, 11 plus 1, dodecyl sodium sulfonate. This is also one of the anionic detergent. So these are the two examples are given. Keep in mind, formulas are very, very, very important, 1 and 2. Next one is, these are useful in household purpose. Another one is also used in the toothpaste. Uses are, remember here, these anionic detergents are used for, one is household purpose, another one is in toothpaste. Okay, this is about the anionic detergent. Second one is cationic detergent. Cationic detergent. Cationic detergent, one of the example is quaternary ammonium salt. Quaternary ammonium in what is this is nitrogen is the 4 bond. For example, this methyl, this is also methyl, this is also methyl. When you are getting the 4 bond, one positive charge will be there here. This is called quaternary ammonium salt. This will be very long chain. Along with this, you maybe have here anion, maybe bromide ion, maybe chloride ion, that may be acetate ion. This is called cationic detergent general formula. But in your textbook, this long chain is given. That long chain form is CH3CH2 taken 15. CH3CH2 taken 15. So this is called cetyl trimethyl ammonium. If bromide is there, bromide. Chlorine is there, chloride. Cetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide is one of the good cationic detergent, and this is used in the hair conditioner. Keep in mind, these cationic detergents are used in the hair conditioner. Note down that point. And these are somewhat expensive. That's why this is in limited use. That is very, very important, cationic hair conditioner, and also having the germicidal property. It means to kill the germs also this is used, and this is expensive. Keep in mind, cationic detergents are used in the hair conditioner and germicidal property, expensive, therefore limited use also is there. And last one is non-ionic. Anion is negative, cation is positive. Here this cationic part, here this anionic part. So here anionic part is more effectively work, here cationic part more effectively work. Next one is non-ionic part. Non-ionic part meaning what is that? No positive, no negative. No positive, no negative. For this one example is there. That example I want to write here. That is CH3, CH2 taken 16 and COOH plus OH, CH2, CH2O taken N, CH2, CH2OH minus water, both are react and gives the water, and it form CH3, CH2 taken 16, COO, CH2, CH2O taken N, CH2, CH2OH. Anywhere there is no charge, then this is one of the stearic acid and glycerol ester. This is do not having any positive negative charge. Generally this is used in liquid dishwash. You maybe know that Vim gel and Prim something liquid gels are there to use for liquid dishwashing purpose, and nowadays some machines also is there for dishwashing. In that also some powder form they are using, that is different. So this liquid dishwash are also work as like this detergent. So this cleansing action is similar to the detergent and soap. Now the last part is these detergents or soap, how these are useful to environment. Generally these are also one of the pollution. If it is branched chains are not easily biodegraded. When these are not easily biodegraded, these are reached to the river or pond or lake in the effluents. Effluents mean what is that? Liquid wastage, and these are persist in a long time. Therefore these may cause more frothing into the river. You may be observed that when drainage is flowing from one place to another place, sometime in the very metropolitan cities, you may be observed that it will give the more froth. Otherwise you may be observed that in the beach or somewhere the side part having the more froth because of this all wastage, because some people they bought and use the soaps, they having the maybe branched chain hydrocarbon, they are not easily degraded and it gives the pollution. Therefore keep in mind, always use those are having the long carbon chain, not the branched chain. So long carbon chain, straight chain are easily degraded, branched chains are not easily biodegraded, they cause the pollution. So which is better? Straight chain hydrocarbon chain, carboxylic acid maybe, or maybe hydrocarbon chain, they are better and they can easily biodegradable and do not cause any pollution. With this chemistry in everyday life chapter is completed. But keep in mind, in this chapter for competitive exam purpose, what you have to remember, every heading definition you have to remember, because which of the following like this correct, incorrect also they may give, and each and every example you have to remember. You will read your textbook and note down the only which medicine used for which type of problem. Antacid, antihistaminic, tranquilizers, analgesics, narcotic, non-narcotic, and antibiotics, antiseptics, and what do you call anti-fertility drug, food preservative, food antioxidant, artificial sweetener, their times also, and these detergents, everything note down and practice. Only very important chapter for all CET level to JEE mains level, NEET level. Compulsory question come from this chapter. Thank you.